Hi everyone, Julia from the Melbourne Osteopathic Clinic here. Welcome to another 30 minutes of Pilates and well done for choosing to do this during your day. So the only equipment you'll need today is a rolled up towel or a foam roller, otherwise just a bit of room to move and we are good. So we're going to start off in a 4-point kneeling position today, which means hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips, and we're just starting off with a bit of pelvic tilting forward and back. So when we're tilting your pelvis forward, imagine it's like a bucket of water that you're tipping in front of your knees, and then you're trying to come backwards and scoop that bucket up. So just a little bit of forward and backward tilting, just try and get some movement there happening through the lower back and pelvis. Always at the start of the session, you want to take things pretty gently, just introducing some movements to your body. You might not have been doing much before this, so it's nice to not go in too strong. So once you've done a couple of pelvic curls, we're going to work into our cat. So keep tipping your pelvis forward, and then I want you to extend through your upper back, look up towards the roof, and then tuck underneath, so a posterior tilt, and then come up into a nice curl, so into that camel. So then with your timing and your breathing, work into both of those shapes. So just alternating between that cat, so the extension, and the camel, going in that flexed or rounded position. With each repetition, you should be able to take the range just a little bit further. Really nice way to get us started, getting some articulation through the spine. Make sure you're staying nice and relaxed through your shoulders and your arms. Shouldn't be feeling too much tension in those shoulders, so make sure they're away from your ears. And the wrist should be relatively comfortable in this position for a short period of time. Let's do one more round through. And then what I want you to do is pick up your left hand, place that palm up and thread it underneath your right arm. So you're twisting towards the right, and then unthread and twist out to the left. So this is our thread the needle, trying to keep your lower back and your hips relatively steady so that we're getting a nice twist from them. We're going to do two more, so threading underneath, twisting towards the right, and then opening out towards the left. Really trying to twist with your chest and with your upper body. Good. Place that left hand down, pick up your right hand, palm facing up, thread that underneath your left arm, again nice twist, and then opening out to the right. Try and keep nice and steady through lower back, through pelvis, so that again, all of that twist is felt through the thoracic spine, which is your upper back. Good. So place your right hand back down. Check in on that alignment. So you should have hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips, and you should have your natural spinal curves at the moment. So a little bit of a dip in that lower back is exactly what we're wanting. Then keeping that form steady, take a nice in-breath to prepare. And as you exhale, I want you to float your left arm forward. Inhale, return. Exhale, float the right. Inhale, return. So on every exhale, we're moving away from the body. Inhale, we're returning. And you want to be keeping really steady through your spine, through your pelvis at the moment. This is all about trying to keep that nice and anchored and just get movement through that arm and shoulder. And like I said, this is a float, so it should feel quite light, quite floaty, and not too forced. One more to each side. And then we're going to start with the legs. So take a pause here, so nice big inhale, nice exhale, inhale, prepare, exhale, float the left leg out straight, inhale, return, exhale, float the right, inhale, return. A little bit trickier when we're working with the legs, but we are trying to maintain that sense of neutral pelvis and that spinal alignment that we did have initially in our 4-point kneeling. And you want to be going for some really nice length here. So imagine someone is grabbing onto your foot, pulling it away from your body. So making a nice long line, tracking that foot away from you. One more to each side, and then we're going to reintroduce the arms. So this time it's going to be left leg, right arm, reaching forward and return. So reach right leg, left arm and return. Still working away from the body on that exhale, returning on the inhale. If it's a bit too much to do this diagonal reach, then take the arms out, just stick to the legs, but we're going for that nice long line on a bit of a diagonal. Do one more to each side. Turn to the middle and just work through 2 rounds of a cat camel. Just get that movement happening again. And once you've done those 2, we're going to lie on your front, ready for a sphinx. So hands are out in like a cactus position with your thumbs in line with your nose, and I want head turned towards the left, so your right ear is resting on the floor. Then take an inhale to prepare. As you exhale, I want pressure into the floor, bringing yourself up into a bit of extension. Inhale, come down and look to the right. Again, as you exhale, coming up into the extension, inhale, back down, looking to the left. You can keep your gaze centered the whole time if you're comfortable with placing your face onto the floor or onto the mat. But this turn is a good alternative. So I want you to be using your hands, using your elbows to bring yourself up into that extended shape and then controlling that on the way down. I don't want you looking up. I want there to be a nice line through the crown of your head, down your neck, into your upper back. Try and nudge it a little bit further each time. I'm going to do one more of these. And then grab your rolled up towel or foam roller and lie on your right hand side. So I want your head to be towards the front of whatever support you've got. Right arm is out straight, knees are bent to 90 degrees. So heels are stacked, knees are stacked, hips are stacked. Left hand on top of your right hand, then reaching that up towards the ceiling, and then rotating with your chest and your upper body. So you're twisting out and then coming back to where you began. So again, left hand up towards the ceiling, rotate with the chest and the upper back out towards the left, and then returning through. This one's called our opening the books or chest openers. So hopefully you get that sense that we're opening up like a book and then coming back. I want you to try and encourage your left knee forward so that you're not getting any twisting back through your hips. We don't want to be cheating through this movement. And if you can, I want it to be a nice exhale as we're opening. Inhale as we return. Exhale to be opening, opening, opening. Inhale, return. And your goal should be your sternum or that breastbone facing towards the ceiling. We've got one more of these. Perfect. So then when you're ready, we're going to go onto the other side. So go whichever way is natural for your space. So you've got your support there, head on the front of that. Left arm is out straight. You've got your knees at 90 degrees, heels stacked, knees stacked, hips stacked. Right hand on top, reaching that up towards the ceiling, and then we rotate over to the right. Again, take that twist with the exhale if you can. Inhale as we return. Twisting on the exhale. Inhale and return. Encourage that right knee forward so that all that twist is coming from your upper back. I'm going to do two more of these. Should be worn up so we can take the range that little bit further. Breastbone towards the ceiling. Good. And then when you're ready, you can take away that support and bring yourself onto your back. So what we're going to do is set up a neutral pelvis. If you've covered this with me before, feel free to move straight into some knee floats, single or double, but otherwise this is what we're going to do for the next minute or so. So feet are flat on the floor, knees are together. I want heels of your hands on your pelvic bone, so out where your hips are, and then fingertips on your pubic bone. So you should have made a bit of a triangle with those 3 points. And what you're trying to do is make it so that they are flat, so they're running parallel with the floor. So do a bit of that backward tipping and forward tipping that we did at the very start of this session. So imagining like you've got that bucket in your pelvis and you're tipping it back onto you and you're tipping it forward towards your feet. Just try and find that middle ground where they're running parallel with the floor. And then you want to check side to side. So hands on the top of the pelvis there, and just find that middle point where you haven't got one hip hitched up towards you, so that's nice and level. So that is our neutral pelvis. If I mention that I want you to be maintaining neutral pelvis, it means that I want you to be in this position with your pelvis and hips, and then the other movement is working off that. You should have a little bit of an arch through your lower back. That's not what we're basing our setup on, but that should be a natural byproduct of that. Alright, so once you've got your neutral pelvis set, keep your hands on the hips there so that you can feel what is happening, and we're going to work into some knee floats. So nice inhale to prepare, and as you exhale, I want you to float that left knee into a tabletop position. Inhale and return. Then on the right, exhale, float into tabletop, inhale, return. So you want to be monitoring that you're not getting too much rocking and rolling through the hips. This should be nice and steady. Really independent movement just from that leg. If you want to progress this, then single float, inhale to pause, exhale, float the other leg, then return both. Otherwise, sticking to that single float and return is perfect to be building up this movement. So let's work through a few of these. Going to do one more on each side. And then place your feet back down, keep your knees together, keep that sense of neutral pelvis, and then we're going to work into a pelvic curl and a bridge. So tuck your pelvis underneath, so you're tipping it towards you, and then I want you to peel your lower back off the floor and keep going until we're up on those shoulders, and then slowly lower yourself back down the way that you came up. So your sacrum or your tailbone should be the last thing to come into contact with the floor on your way down. So again, we tuck under as we exhale and peel off the floor, and then inhale, lowering back to where we started. I want you to focus on keeping your knees squeezed together anytime we are doing these bridges. You want to make sure you're getting some good activation through your adductors, so that's your inner thigh muscles. Let's work through one more of these. And then maintaining that neutral pelvis again, Bring both hands up towards the ceiling. Take an inhale to prepare. As you exhale, I want you to lower your left hand towards the floor. Inhale, return. Exhale, lowering the right hand towards the floor. Inhale, return. So see if you can check in with that pelvis, because it's still in our neutral. So you've still got that little gap between your lower back and the floor. Knees should be together, feet are flat. One more on each side. And then with control, float your left leg into tabletop. See if you can bring your right knee up as well. And then we're going for our dead bugs. So this is what we were doing earlier, but just flips upside down. So right hand, left leg are going to extend, and then we're going to return. Exhale, left hand, right leg, and return. So just this diagonal extension, going for some nice length. So taking your hand, taking your foot away from your body. If it feels a bit much to be doing two limbs moving at once, place your hands down and you can do the same movement with just your legs. One more to each side. Then gently lower one foot, lower the other, and bring your hands down around the back of your head. So it should make a nice cradle there. Pop your elbows just where you can see them, so in your peripherals. Keep knees together, neutral pelvis. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, I want you to bring your chin towards your chest, curling off the floor. Inhale and lower. Again, exhale, chin to chest, curling off the floor. Inhale and lower. So this is not about how high you can take your curl up. It's about making that really nice round shape through your spine. And coming up with control. Shouldn't be feeling any discomfort in your neck. If you are, make sure that you're nice and strong through the hands. You've got a really nice cradle for your head there, and you're bringing that up with you. We're going to do one more here. And then what I want you to do, find that rolled up towel or foam roller again. Place that on the floor, running vertically, so that it's going to end up being under your upper back and supporting your head as well. So find that position where your head is still supported, and then keep your feet flat on the floor. That will take anything off your lower back. And then I want you to place your hands out wide in a T type position, so palms are up. We're nice and open through the chest. So we're going to spend a bit of time here to finish off. A really nice way to open up through the upper back, through the chest, which is especially important if we're doing a lot of activity in front of us. We're spending a lot of time bent forward. This is great to help counteract that. If you're not feeling a stretch with your hands out in that 90-degree position, take them a little bit higher. So you should have about 120 degrees in the shoulders. And you just want to be trying to soften your shoulders and your back over that support. If you want a progression of that, you can also place your hands underneath the base of your head and try and let your elbows drop towards the floor. If this is a bit strong on the shoulders, just take it back to one of those earlier positions. But we're just going to take some time here, really enjoy the stretch. So well done. Thank you for taking half an hour out of your day to have a bit of a move and a stretch with me. I really hope that you got something out of it. It is a good thing for your body. So if you do have extra time, you can hang out here a little bit longer. Otherwise, that is your half an hour. Thank you for joining me, and I look forward to taking you through the next session.